from NBC Sports. We always talk ponies and pucks with this man. And, yep, we've got the second round of the NHL playoffs continuing tonight. And then tomorrow on NBC, the final leg of the Triple Crown, the Belmont Stakes from the great city of New York. Eddie Olczyk joining us here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Eddie O?
Hey, Rich. Nice to be with you.
How you been?
Very well, thanks. Thanks for having me. Yeah, great time of year. Usually, and again, all of our worlds have been upside down here the last little while, but usually we'd be in probably about game 3 or 4 into the Stanley Cup final.
Right.
But considering the season started a little bit later, and here we are, just at the start of round 2. So a great time of year. And then you mentioned a little over 24 hours from now, we'll have the Belmont. So usually I'm on the coverage for NBC in person, but since I got the assignment of, and I'm very happy with it, the assignment of Colorado and Vegas, I'm in Vegas right now getting ready for Game 3 tonight. So lots to like, lots of action going on both on and off the ice. Rich.
Well, especially since Eddie, I remember when we talked last year at this time when the show was on NBCSN, you were in a hotel room. You were quarantining, right?
Yes.
Right?
I was in the bubble. Up in Edmonton. Yeah, it was 4 days without leaving my room, and in order to be able to do my job properly. And I got through the 4 days, and we got through the Stanley Cup Finals in the bubble, and here we are down to 8 teams, Rich, and it's hard to believe. I mean, considering everything that the league is, look at all the leagues, but in particular the National Hockey League with the protocols and everything. And yeah, they've had a couple of hiccups this year towards the end of the year, especially with Vancouver. But Vegas had a little bit of a problem. And look, it's not, the National Hockey League and players and teams, an essential part of the organizations, are not immune to this COVID world that we're living in. So we found a way to get through the regular season, and here we are down to the final 8. So a tip of the hockey helmet to the commissioner, Mr. Bettman, Bill Daly, and all the people involved, because I think the entertainment value has been through the roof so far in these playoffs.
So I guess they put all the Canadian teams in one part of the bracket, which means we were definitely going to get a Canadian team playing for a conference championship, which got at least. I guess certainly here in Los Angeles, the curse of Marty McSorley's stick might finally be somehow, some way rectified or exorcised by the team that started it all. What do you think of a chance of a Canadian team making the Cup Finals here? Handicap everything for me from that side of the ledger moving on, Eddie.
Well, you had the teams that finished 3rd and 4th, respectively, in the Canadian division in Winnipeg and Montreal take out the Edmonton Oilers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. And, for me, at the end of the day, it comes down to being able to put somebody away, right? Like Toronto had the Canadians up, Rich, 3-1, and the Maple Leafs weren't able to do it in Game 5, and they gave the Canadians an opportunity to go back home, and then you get to a Game 6, and all of a sudden it's a Game 7, and the pressure is certainly on the home team. Look, I would want a Game 7 in my home building all the time. I only can speak from experience of being a member of the New York Rangers in '94 when we had to come back home and play not only in the conference final, the conference final, get by the Devils in double overtime in a Game 7, but also win the Stanley Cup in a Game 7. But the Maple Leafs weren't able to do it. The Habs, the Montreal Canadiens, look at it. They got a big team. They got a heavy team. They've got a great goaltender in Carey Price. They're starting to score goals now. And Winnipeg's a team that took out arguably the two of the top 5 players we have in the league in round 1. So I thought it was a flip of a coin going in. I saw the way Montreal played. Winnipeg loses Mark Scheifele, who got suspended for 4 games for the big hit on Jake Evans at the end of the game. That's a huge, huge loss for the Winnipeg Jets. But they've been a team that's been able to find ways to win games here with a defense that maybe isn't up to top 12 or 15 in the entire National Hockey League when you talk about the defensive core. But, hey, you can take down and limit Edmonton in scoring goals in round 1. Why can't they do it against a team, in my opinion, that's offensively challenged in Montreal? So I still give Winnipeg a puncher's chance here to get to the conference final.
All right, and then who wins it all? Because what do you think?
Look, at the start of the year, I'm not going to be so like some of my colleagues and change 7 times over the course of the season. So for the record, I picked Colorado at the start of the year. I thought it would be a Colorado-Carolina final. I'm still alive on that pick. But Colorado, they probably in Game 2 back home against Vegas, the better team was the Vegas Golden Knights. And give Philip Grubauer, the goaltender for the Avs, a lot of credit, Rich. He played really well in the second, third period in overtime, and then eventually in overtime they got a power play, that being Colorado, and Rantanen scored, and they're up 2-0. So look, the series could easily be 1-1. Vegas is still in it,
right,
but it's a must-win for the VGK tone. There is no doubt about it. They have to win this game. They cannot go down 3-0. Against Colorado.
I mean, if you can't be Eddie Olczyk here from NBC Sports on the Rich Eisen Show. So if you can't be at the actual racetrack, if you can't be at the Belmont, what better town to be in than Las Vegas, Nevada, for you to be able to maybe find it? I think you could find a place, right?
Oh yeah, I got my feet up at the beautiful Red Rock Resort Hotel, and that's the hotel choice of yours truly. So. I've been coming here for 17 years, and I will have a great seat tomorrow, considering I am not working tomorrow.
Okay.
I get my feet up all day tomorrow to be able to watch the Belmont, and I promise you, I will wear out a pass from my seat to the wagering window at the Red Rock, or my ExpressBet account will get certainly an overwork on tomorrow.
Well, all I'm saying, Ed, is we're on Raider Nation Radio, 9:20 a.m. in Las Vegas. I think you just got your meal comped. By dropping the,
look at Rich. Hey, I've been going there for a long time. I was there well before anybody knew about the beautiful Red Rock. So you know what? I can't wait to get there.
Okay.
And, looking forward to a great weekend. And speaking of the Belmont,
yes. What do you got?
Mile and a half, 8-horse field. I think the horse, it probably end up being the favorite, and it's going to be hard to go against the favorite, in my opinion. Is the 2-horse Essential Quality. He was a favorite in the Kentucky. He was in the Kentucky Derby. He ran fourth that day. I didn't like him. I thought he really ran his heart out the race before. I thought he left his Derby race on the track in the race before at Keeneland about a month before. He's bred to run a mile and a half. A lot of these horses, as you know, Rich, won't run a mile and a half the rest of their life. But this horse is bred to do it. Before he lost at the Derby and finished fourth, he was 5 for 5 in his career. 2-year-old champion. I think he'll get the perfect setup. Now, 2-1. 5-2, not great odds, but sometimes you got to take what the track gives you. So for me, it's all about the 2-horse Essential Quality and the horse that won the Preakness, the 3-horse Rombauer. So I'm going to play a little 2-3, 3-2 box, but all my money is going to be on the nose of Essential Quality tomorrow.
Is that the Chardonnay people, the 3-horse Rombauer? Is that what that is?
No, it is not. But I think
buttery.
Certainly they've had a few. They've had a few since winning the Preakness. I will say that.
Okay, I mean, I'm just taking a shot there because if you just keep mentioning the name of the resort that you're in, you're trying to get your room comped. I'm trying to get at least some great Chardonnay sent to the Rich Eisen Show. So what is your take on what happened with Baffert and Baffert saying that the racing community was so upset about it? And now here we are. It took literally forever and a day. Like, let's just say if baseball, the NFL, or any major sport had suspended somebody due to a drug test, and it took a million years essentially,
right.
And actually you started. You put the athlete back out there to run to compete in a nationwide, internationally watched event. People go, what the hell's going on? So what is your take on all of what happened?
Well, look, it's interesting you talk about that, Rich, because if you go back a couple of years ago, when Maximum Security, the horse that finished the Derby the finish line first at the Derby a couple of years ago, and then was disqualified for interference on the turn coming from home, Maximum Security and his jockey Luis Saez. He got in trouble for the ride in that race, and he got they call him days. So he got technically suspended for a handful of days, but he appealed that. He appealed and he'd never served those days until a year after. So to me, there's a lot there. Look, there's a lot of problems in a lot of areas in horse racing, but to me that's just one of them, right? Again, it costs money to get these tests back. The due process, every state has different rules. Now, let me just make this perfectly clear, is that the substance that was found in Medina Spirit, the horse that won the Kentucky Derby, it is not a banned substance. It is allowed up to a certain amount. Now, the horse tested, the amount that was in there was over the allotted amount. That's on Bob Baffert. That's on his team. He has to wear that. It's been a cloud over the sport for a while, and now with the split sample coming back and Churchill Downs now banning him for the next couple of years. Look at Bob Baffert has to wear that, and that's the way that it is. But again, I think that initially and even through this whole process, is when you hear, a failed drug test, everybody just assumes this is something that is not allowed in horse racing. If you want to take it to the next level, instead of testing just the five horses, the top 5 finishers after the Kentucky Derby, test them all. When you go to the pre-race testing, why aren't they testing for everything instead of just certain things? Like, again, there's so many things here. But most importantly, you asked me about Bob Baffert. He has to wear this. It's obviously disappointing. But again, I want people to know the facts, is that the substance that was found in the horse that won the Kentucky Derby is not a banned substance. The amount that he had in his system was over the allotted limit. Here's the example, Rich. If that test was taken in California, he would have not. There would have been no red flag. There would have been no failed test. In Churchill Downs, it's different. But again, that is on Bob Baffert to make it perfectly clear, and that's something that he's going to have to live with and hopefully be better for. And I think that he will. He's been the face of the sport for a long, long time, and this certainly isn't great for the game. But to me, there's a lot more to uncover in our game in horse racing than just what has taken place with the Kentucky Derby. And I will say this last thing, is that when you see racetracks starting to ban, Bob Baffert from coming to their track or not allowing to race here or there or whatever it is like, okay, well, is that going to be the consistent line, Rich? Are you going to sit there and go, well, wow, if Eddie Olczyk has a positive test, or he has had a positive test, are you going to ban him as much? So those are the questions I think are being answered on the inside of horse racing. Is, look, if you're going to do this to Bob Baffert just because it was the Kentucky Derby, well, then you better be doing it to the 7 or 8 guys or women that are training horses right now at your racetrack. Are you going to suspend them as well moving forward? So, again, everybody has a due process. Bob had that, and unfortunately it came back what the test said after the first time, and hopefully the game will be better for it.
Ed, enjoyed tonight's proceedings on NBCSN, puck dropping at 10 Eastern Time right there in Las Vegas, Nevada. Colorado versus the Vegas Golden Knights. And then tomorrow, the Belmont, which you will be watching. Where are you going to be watching it again? Ed, where are you going to be watching it again?
Beautiful Red Rock Resort and Casino in Las Vegas.
Oh, God. Yeah, and Chris Brockman asking the question you just got on my ear. This could be the most important question I've got.
Now, Eddie, I know you're going to box the 2-3 in the exacta, but can we throw in like a third horse for the trifecta? What do we got there?
Yeah, let's go. Man, I don't know if Hot Rod Charlie can get the distance. Known Agenda maybe can suck up for third. You know what? There's a hockey tie there. Known Agenda, owned by Vinny and Teresa Viola. They also own the Florida Panthers. So let's throw the hockey tie in there. Pucks and Ponies, Rich, as you brought me on.
Okay.
Pucks and Ponies going out. So let's go 2-3, and I believe Known Agenda. I don't have it in front of me. I believe Known Agenda is the 6th horse.
And then, if they don't win, we'll just rip up the tickets and say the name Van Beesbrook, and just throw it down on the ground.
Or you know what? Just charge it to my room over at the Red.
That's it. Yay! Put it on the Olczyk. Right. The Underhills.
Great weekend, guys. Thanks.
All right, take care. There you go. There's Eddie. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.